I don't want to report on this, but the Democrats are going completely nuts on Sam Alito, Supreme Court Justice. We're going to go into just how loopy, conspiratorial they are.
Justice Samuel Alito should be impeached. First, we learn that he flew an upside-down American flag outside his house, a stop-the-steal symbol of Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election.
Imagining things right here on the show. It's going to be hilarious, including Chuck Schumer waving a communist flag. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots mock the Democrats into the ground because they have nowhere to stand condemning Alito about any flag, given the flags they've flown all over our country at every institution, even on bases. Let's go.
Are asked about this, and they don't see that they're a big deal. They'll say that this is overblown in the media. Do you see any innocent explanation for the flying of these two flags at two separate homes during two separate periods?
Now, this is MSNBC has on Hakeem Jeffries, which is like the blind leading the blind.
But in the days since news of this second right-wing flag broke, there has been no response from Alito, no response from the court or its Chief Justice John Roberts, who now faces a growing chorus of voices calling for him to appear before Congress and explain the conduct of the members of his court.
Let's get to the flags first. Here's the flag that was flown over Alito's vacation home. It's called An Appeal to Heaven. It's a historic flag. An Appeal to Heaven. This is called the Pine Flag, which none of them will report on this because they don't want to tell you the actual history of this amazing flag. It was one of the flags used in the American Revolution. The flag featured a pine tree with the motto, An Appeal to God, or more commonly used was the motto, An Appeal to Heaven. This flag was originally used by a squadron of 6 cruisers commissioned under George Washington's authority as commander-in-chief of the Continental Army in October of 1775. So this is commissioned. This is George Washington. And of course, MSNBC and New York Times, they do not care.
I would say it has become a symbol of right-wing Christian extremism, of Christian supremacy, of aggressive Christian nationalism, especially built around ideas of spiritual warfare.
So let's continue with the blathering that is Hakeem Jeffries.
Do not see any non-nefarious or innocent explanation. And if there is one, we haven't heard it from Supreme Court Justice Alito.
They're trying to pressure Alito into defending himself, which I would absolutely ignore these people. They are not dignified. Do not dignify them with a response.
Yeah, Kayleigh, this is just another partisan smear against Justice Alito because he's an outstanding justice who upholds the Constitution and the laws as it's written. He doesn't bow to left-wing pressure. He's under no obligation to recuse from cases because of a flag his wife flies. And for that matter, I want to say that Martha Ann Alito is a great patriot. I commend her for flying a patriotic flag that goes back to George Washington. For that matter, I think I'm going to start flying it outside of my office here in the Senate.
Here's 3 headlines, though. CBS News, Senate Democrats seek meeting with Chief Justice John Roberts after Alito flag controversy. They know that they probably have better inroads with Chief Justice because he's more sensitive. Here's Rolling Stone. Dem senators request meeting with Chief Justice Roberts over Alito. And then here's Fox News. SCOTUS Chief Roberts pressured to force Alito recusal ahead of Trump immunity decision. That's what this is really about, is they don't want Trump to have immunity over the J6 stuff.
It's not been forthcoming. I think his only response was to try and throw his wife under the bus, which was extraordinary in and of itself for anyone to do, let alone a Supreme Court justice.
This man can't even speak. He can't even put 2 words together. And Hakeem Jeffries is actually pretty dumb. But here's an article that helps explain, which he has access to. This is here on Media. Justice Alito claims his wife hung the coup flag because neighbor called her a C word. Now, neighbors this is during the Trump stuff. I'm not going to read the rest of this article because I don't want to flag my channel, but they called her the C word. They were outrageously vicious to her. Because they went after the Supreme Court justice's wife, which is what Democrats always do. They can't hit the man, so they go after the woman. These are hypocrites. They pretend to be pro-woman. They are absolutely not. They went after Ginny Thomas. Remember, Clarence Thomas's wife. And now they're going after Alito's wife.
Who, by the way, is having to deal with pending cases before the Supreme Court that involve the insurrectionist in chief, Donald Trump.
By the way, those court cases are whether if Trump committed insurrection yet. It hasn't been decided yet. And Hakeem Jeffries is already calling Trump the insurrectionist in chief as if he's guilty before the Supreme Court. Hold on, Hakeem Jeffries. We got to still weigh into this. And no, he has never once been charged with insurrection.
Involve people who violently assaulted the Capitol as part of the effort to undermine the peaceful transfer of power for the first time in American history.
That's a neat narrative and a neat fiction. They keep repeating it, doesn't make it true. We have no proof of that, hasn't been established in court. It's still to go before the Supreme Court. And he's already saying, but the Supreme Court should act as if, it all went our way, and it's not going to go his way.
And that is why this is a serious issue. Part of the challenge that we confront at this moment is that the extreme MAGA Republican majority in the House of Representatives has zero interest.
Now, they have zero interest in repeating your lie and treating it seriously. And he used that the MAGA Republicans, MAGA Republicans, the bad guys.
In exercising any oversight authority over the out-of-control members of the Supreme Court, which is one of the things that will be before the American people on the ballot in November.
And that's another mistake that Hakeem Jeffries made. He said he's angry that his own institution is not running oversight on the Supreme Court, but they still have to vote on it. He just said in November to decide if they're going to allow another branch of government to have oversight authority over the Supreme Court. See, he did this twice now, where he acted like he's already proven his case. It's already been made into law. No, it has not been made into law, has not been voted on. We'll probably lose because it's lunatic to put the Supreme Court underneath either the presidency to have him adjudicate their decisions, or the Congress. I believe it's unconstitutional. These branches of government are supposed to remain separate and equally authoritative. Oh, and before I move on, here's Chuck Schumer waving a Chinese communist flag. He waves it with such gusto because he knows it represents his homeland. Here's the last one of the New York Times, who have already said that the 4th of July, the American flag, is controversial. The 4th of July, symbol of unity that may no longer unite. In a Long Island town, neighbors now make assumptions, true and sometimes false, about people who conspicuously display American flags, that we're troubling and divisive. And if we allow these Democrats to get away with this flag shenanigans with the Supreme Court, guess what's next? It's going to be American flags are a hate symbol. I can already tell. We already know where these Democrats come from. They're wrong, and they will continue to be wrong. I'm Doug in Exile.